Nutrition is important for your training and for yourself on the day of the race as well. You can have the best training, the best schedule of training, but unless you get your nutrition right as well, you won't get the most out of your training. Therefore, it's really important that you know what to eat before training, what you need to eat after training, and also just how to keep yourself topped up during the training. And the similar things will apply for you on race day. I personally think if I was to give you one message, it would be to eat foods in their natural state. So what I mean by this is to choose whole foods as opposed to processed foods. So whenever you go into the supermarket, if you go and buy fresh foods, so for example if you're buying fish or chicken, buy it off the meat counter, avoid any coatings or anything like that. Whenever you're buying your vegetables, again, buy fresh fruit, fresh veg, and also things like rice and pasta. If you could choose brown varieties, that would hugely benefit you as well. Now the glycaemic index is the rate at which a carbohydrate is broken down into glucose. Now glucose is what provides the energy for the body, and the rate at which a carbohydrate is broken down into glucose is really important. Now what I would recommend is that you do a search on the internet and you can find tables which show the glycaemic index. But pretty much the rule that we can have is foods which are natural in their state will be low, foods which are processed or heavily cooked will be high. So things like white bread such as baguettes, ciabattas, even things like baked potatoes, they're quite high in the glycaemic index, whilst things like fruit, brown rice, white rice, brown bread would be much lower on the glycaemic index. Now whenever we come to talk about pre and post exercise or training nutrition, I'll talk about glycaemic index again. Whenever you're running, during your training, you're always breaking down the structures of the body. We keep getting little tiny tears in the muscles, what we call micro tears. You get bone broken down, ligaments and tendons broken down as well. So training itself is quite destructive on the body. And what we need to do is make sure we get enough protein so we've got the building blocks to repair the damage that we've created. And to work out how much protein that you need to do an equation. So you take your body weight in kilograms and you multiply it by 1.4 grams, and that will give you the amount of protein that you need per day. So eggs, fish, chicken are all really good sources, as are red meat. For vegetarians, things like beans are a really good source. Cheese as well, and dairy products, if you're not a vegan, would all be good sources of protein. The importance of eating vitamins and minerals to your training, I think, is much misunderstood as well. Now, the source of vitamins and minerals are going to be fruit and veg, and it is absolutely vital that you eat a good range of fruit and veg during the training period and leading up to the marathon itself. The advice is always to choose, it is 5 to 9 pieces of fruit and veg a day, but to choose different colours. So just 5 apples isn't going to be as good as if you choose 5 different fruits. Now the reason why fruit and veg is so important to eat is because it provides our vitamins and minerals, and the vitamins and minerals are vital for every chemical reaction that takes place in your body. Now the most important reaction for our cells is probably energy production, and if you don't get enough vitamins and minerals, you will not have what I call the spark plugs to turn the carbohydrate or the glucose into energy. We really are very like cars in this instance, in that you put petrol into a car, but you need the spark plug to set fire to the petrol to provide the energy for the car to run. And that's what our vitamins and minerals do. They provide the spark to convert the foodstuffs such as carbohydrates into energy. So absolutely vitally important.